2026. Our next leader for the Republic of Liberia, he is nobody else but Alexander B. Cummings, will be taking a visit to Bapolu County. So we take this time to ask all of the Bapolu citizens in Bapolu, along with Senator Daniel Flomon X, to rise up on their feet to work on our President Alexander B. Cummings. Yeah! President Alexander Cummings. President.
Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We got us on a big coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we got us on a big coming. Now you're coming, yeah. We coming. We got us on a big coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming. We got us on a big coming. We coming. We got us on. Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We got us on a big coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we got us on a big coming. Now you're coming, yeah. We coming. We got us on a big coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming. We got us on a big coming. We coming. We got us on. Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We got us on a big coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we got us on a big coming. Now you're coming, yeah. We coming. We got us on a big coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys,
my people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lots of us, the government betray us, they betray us so much. I said they lie. The people who us, the people lots of us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not know. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises. that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we vote tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us.
They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt.
No one to trust. My people, no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie.
The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us.
They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt.
With the promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we both tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
They lie.
Wherever you are watching the show, let me say welcome to you. Sorry, I was mute. You you didn't hear what I was saying. But let me say welcome to each and every one of you, our viewers. Unfortunately for tonight, I'm going to be alone on the show. All of my co-presenters are uptight with some active activities, and so we cannot disappoint you. So I have to be here, and let's discuss together. I want you to please share the video with your contacts, invite your friends to listen, because we got some very important issues coming up tonight on the program. And so please don't go away. And you just listen to this song by Takunji, and Facebook want to say that we do not own any copyrights to this song. It's just a song that suits the occasion that we are addressing, and so we have to play. And this is, in fact, song from our motherland, Facebook. So please do not block our video for that. So let me say welcome again to you, our viewers. Tonight, I'm sure you might have known by now about the rice crisis, the rice shortage in Monrovia or in Liberia for that matter. And so we'll be discussing that briefly. We don't intend to be here to bore you down tonight for too long. We're going to be here for at least 1.5 hours, but it will be very, very interesting. Trust me. And so we'll be talking about the rice shortage in Monrovia and what government says they're doing. You know, the cries around town has been that, oh, there is no rice, even though we know there is no rice. But why I say that the government has been taciturn. The government has not said anything to the citizens, especially the president, except that when he came from the UNGA at the airport, when he was interviewed, he said that was every rumor about the rice was street gossip. There was enough rice in the country, and so people shouldn't panic. But since he came, it's been 1 week plus. Still, the situation gets worse by day. And so people have been crying all over the place. Why I say that government is not saying anything? You know, and I mean, Liberian people being who we are, we're very easy, very, very easy to convince. We are very easy to to pacify, you know, like a baby. When the baby is crying, no matter how hard the baby is crying, if you pacify him, you just take the nipple, as we call it in Liberia, the pacifier, what we call it nipple. You take it and put it in the baby's mouth, he will keep quiet. So this is how we Liberians are. So if the president has just come out in the past few days to talk to the citizens and show them that, oh, you know, we don't have rice here now, but we're making every effort for rice to come in this country, I'm sure the people will not be furious like they are now. But this afternoon, the government released a press statement in which they said they are making efforts to bring in some 150,000 metric tons of rice to the country. But they did not specifically mention a day or a date that the expected consignment of rice will arrive in the country. And so, like we say in Liberia, dry dog sweet. You know, some people don't like to eat a dog fresh, so they let it dry it. But in the interim, while the dog is still on the dryer, you know, those of us that come from the interior setting, when they kill the animal, you have to make this careful kind of dryer, you know, and cross the stakes over it, and then put your meat, or you hang it on something over the fire. And it takes time to dry. But while it is getting dry, you will still be hungry, you want to eat. So what will you be eating before that dog gets dry? Because since you don't like to eat your dog fresh. So this is the situation with the people and the rice. You know, Liberia is a country that primarily survives on rice. And we have variety of food in Liberia, and nobody can deny that. We got the best vegetables. We got the best of any crops that can bear roots, like cassava, potatoes, arrows. We got them. But we primarily survive on rice, or live on rice, for that matter. The Liberian man will swallow GB, as heavy as GB is. The Liberian man will swallow fufu. The Liberian man will swallow duma. The Liberian man will eat whole pan full of arrow soup. The Liberian man will eat a lot of plantains and a lot of bananas and just name every food. But if you ask this guy, my man, have you eaten today? He said, no, I'm not eating. I just ate one small, I just ate some GB, man. You know, meaning he has not eaten rice. So rice is our staple food. And the history of rice, we don't need to bore you down with the history of rice in Liberia. Our president was killed for rice. And the difference between the situation we have in the country now and the situation then in 1979 is that in 1979, rice was there. And I remember, I was a boy, okay? I was in the ninth grade, so Liberian boy in ninth grade, I could understand. So 1979, the situation was that there was rice in the country. There was no shortage of rice. We had the parboiled rice. Sorry. And then we used to also have the country rice, variety of country rice. If you want to eat the red rice, you will go in the market and buy it. If you want to eat the white rice, you will go and buy it. And there was some other rice that looks like parboiled rice, but a country rice, normally they plant them in the swamp. If you want to buy it, so we have variety of rice, in the country. But the problem was that this suspected increment in the price of rice that the progressives thought would be at the disadvantage of the masses. They capitalized on that and they sold the idea to the people, and the people came out to riot against any proposed increment in rice by the Tobo administration then. Okay, and I can assure you, I lived on the bypass at the time, and there was real tension in Monrovia. There was real tension. There was vandalism, people died, and the military was everywhere. There was curfew in the street. People broke. I mean, it was just like 2-3 minutes from my house to Camp Johnson Road. The entire Camp Johnson Road was vandalized. And so the history of rice in Liberia is not anything that anybody can play with. Okay, if you reflect on that history, where a whole nation came to its knees, okay, we came to our knees. Liberia came to its knees during the rice riot, and on top of that, that conflict continued into 1980, and this led to the coup. So the history of rice in Liberia is not anything that if any sound person reflects on, you want to repeat it. And like I said, there's a difference between the event in 1979 and now. 1979, like I said before, there was rice available. There was no shortage of rice when the rice riot took place, no. But it was just on mere suspicion or the proposal that they wanted to increase the price of rice, and that's what brought the problem. People could still afford it, okay? Our parents could come from work, and the taxi will put them down, and then, you see the taxi driver putting a bag of rice down. And we, the kids, were struggling on it to carry home. I mean, we're happy, and so we didn't have problem with shortage of rice because, like I said, there was a variety of rice. If you want to eat pusawa, you could buy it that time. If you want to eat country rice, so it wasn't like the event now or the situation now where the commodity is scarce and the price has skyrocketed. I listened to most talk shows today, and people were saying that they buy a cup of rice for $120 in some areas, $100 in some areas, and all of that. Can you imagine? What if you have a family of 6, 7, 8? We Liberians, us, right? Some of us can have up to 7, 8 people, and some people got our siblings living with them. Their relatives living with them. Okay, so if you got a huge number of people living with you, compounded with the no money in the country syndrome, okay, you don't have money in the country, people are not working, then you got this whole group of people living with you, and this is something that we can't do away with because we got to help each other. This is our culture. So people can say we can help our relatives. So if you got a huge number of people living in your house and you buy a cup of rice for $120 Liberian dollars, then you can hardly find it. So it's just a complex situation. You cannot find it. It's expensive, and you're not working. So can you imagine? So how do you make it? And I try to imagine, because during my day, I remember we never went out of rice. Okay, so we always had rice, and we could even help neighbors with rice. And I personally, my friends could come to us. To me in the night, and I would probably be the one to provide the rice. And my woman has shop. We have a very big provision shop, so I would either provide the rice or the butter. That margarine butter, Blueband. Okay. Or I would provide a luncheon meat, and then my men will be cooking in the background, So we always have rice. So then I want to imagine if a family does not have rice now, and the family is so big, how do they survive, especially with children? So the situation is just beyond normal human understanding for some of us. I mean, because like I said, when I was coming up those days, eh, I don't remember where people went out of rice totally. No. People like my old man used to give rice to other people, even if they didn't have rice, they would come and say, "Oh man, Louis, please give me some money. I mean, or some rice," and she would say, "Go and measure rice." Okay, then I'll measure the rice and give it. And something I used to do also, all the boys that at that time, you know what I'm talking about. The woman said, go measure full come rest, so then you can get full with small half, and then you imagine you want your stomach to get full. So we had, I mean, that was that luxury, you know what I'm saying? That was that luxury where we had surplus, and we didn't care. Like the woman said, go measure 4 cups or 5 cups, and then I'll measure it, then and then put small on top. Then I look at it again, put small mode. I imagine, and the woman will say, "Oh, you think more than 4 cups?" I said, "No, that call man." You know, and then she had a part, especially put so it can disgrace people. When the cooking can sweat, so the pot will get full. And she said, but then I told you, I said that 4 cups. So, but the point I'm trying to make here was, I mean, is that it wasn't that difficult that people could not afford. Okay, I mean, parents were coming from work, they could afford to bring bag of rice home, okay, and people had LPA system. I don't know whether they say got it. So the system was quite different compared to what it is now. And the big difference is that people are not everybody's working, and even people who are working, they get paid, but sometimes 2-3 months in between. So how do they get money? How do they live? And these people gotta, go to work and so I try to imagine. I've not been in Liberia for over 20. I mean, I was there last 2016, but I mean, continuously I've lived out of Liberia for over 20 years. So I don't imagine how people manage, especially in the system, in the kind of system, the situation now that you don't have rice, you cannot find it. At least if there is rice and you can't afford to buy, your neighbor, you can go to your neighbor. I mean, this is an age-old thing that everybody can do, we all Liberians. You say, my child, please give me 1 cup of rubber. Anything when my husband bring red, I'll buy. I mean, I'll give you 1 cup of rubber. Because my child too know that one day she will go out of pepper or something. So if the rice is available, people can, negotiate with neighbors and get something, But in a situation where you cannot find it at all, even if you get a bunch of money, but you cannot find it. And if you find it and you can afford it, you buy it. Everybody, in fact, if you can afford it but you cannot find it, it becomes even more difficult because you have the money but you cannot get it. So the situation is very difficult. And I hope that what the government said today, and when the fellow was reading, I have that thing on my phone here, but if I play, the quality will not be good. So I will not even bother to play, and I will not even interested in what he was saying. That they could not give a definite time. That they say they expect rice to come in few days. I mean, can you appeal to the stomach? Can you appeal to the stomach and say, okay, stomach, please wait for a few days. We expect rice to come. This is something that you shouldn't be playing with. And it all boils down to say that, if the government does not prioritize agriculture, this is what happens. And something that I noticed when I was in Liberia 2016, the last time I was there, I made a couple of trips to my village behind Banga, and then another trip to Sanikwele, And my memory about Liberia, if you go back when I was young boy, we every weekend, not every weekend though, but sometimes twice a month or once a month, we go up country. My opa would say, okay, we're going up country this weekend. I would be happy. And the reason was, when we're going up country, we'll stop on the road, we'll buy all the, especially coming back home to Monrovia, we'll buy dry meat, we'll buy meat. You see the groundhog hanging, the hunter get coming for killing it, and we'll buy meat. And so when I was in Liberia in 2016, my first trip to go up country, and I saw my brothers after we, we got to realize. Then my sisters and my brothers said, "Well, we got to buy some things to carry." So my idea was that maybe they were going to buy salt and some what do you call make it take or whatever. But I saw the children buying bitter balls. They were buying pepper. I said, "But hold on, what you guys going to do with this?" They said, "No, but brother, no, we don't have pepper." And I said, "You mean in our village?" It was just strange to me because this is the place where when they say pepper, bitter balls, and all these things, all the vegetables come from to go to Monrovia. And then you telling me that you buy it from Monrovia to carry it. So, but the point here is that a lot of people have started making farms. Several reasons why. One, the very young boys and young girls nowadays, they are not interested in making farms. So that farming generation that I knew back then, they all in their 60s, 70s, some dead long time ago. So the volume of farms or the production of crops in and around Liberia in most places have gone down. Okay. So, and most of those people have fled to other some of the small, the other cities like Banga, Ganta, Sanukule, Monrovia, Kakata, and all these things. So then, who's left in the interior? Say, the old man had 3 children, and they all used to make farm, and then they will produce more. But all the children have moved to Monrovia. So it's the old man and his wife. How much? And they are old already. How much can they produce? So they will allow, make just little farm for their food, for their food supplied for the next 1 year again. And our people live from subsistence farming, which will only take them from month to month, not even whole year. Because right now it's October, harvest time is coming. Those people who got late who got delayed farms, they'll have to wait until the end of October before they start harvesting. So I know very well that this is the time that as a young boy, we used to go in the bush and look for yam. We will stay and look all the leaves and try to identify the yam. So if you see that yam, you shake a leaf, there is one person will go under there. As you shake a leaf, then the male will try to see where that string is coming from, and then you'll find it and you'll follow it and dig it. So this was the time. I know it very well. Okay, so you will see all the yam holes everywhere. And this year we'll dig yam here and we'll remember that spot and come back next year because we know that it's going to be like repeated thing. So I'm giving you all of this story. I'm making a program conversational tonight so that we'll understand the political part is there, but we're making it conversational. Okay, some of the reasons why we're going through this food shortage in Liberia. Okay, I know Liberians do eat rice. This is our staple food, but we also eat other things. So in the absence of rice, if we have enough of other food, we'll be able to eat it. You can't say, well, since I can only eat rice is a staple food, I will not eat rice, I will die. No, we'll be compelled to eat it somehow. Okay, but the farming population in Liberia has reduced, and I will give you I'll give you the first reason. The first reason is that the young people nowadays, they are not too interested in farming. Some of them want to go to school, they move to the city. One. The second reason is that the people who are even making the farms, when they produce their produce, there is no way to even sell it because a lot of people are not working, so the buying power has reduced. Like I said, I was in Liberia 2016 the last time. And I went to the market. By the way, one of the biggest markets in my area is the winter market. I went to this market and I was literally see the market old lady then who had brought plantains and bananas, how heavy these things are. They told them they walk like 20, 25 kilometers and they come to market and nobody buys it. And then they have to take it back on their head and carry it back to the village. So these kind of people will not be encouraged to even produce more because nobody is buying it. No money. The people are not working. Everybody is poor. See, so that's the second reason. The third reason is that government is not incentivizing farmers. Like, say if the government want to introduce mechanized farming, it's very simple. It's a lot of people, a lot of young people going to the agriculture school, and they come from the villages, okay? Now all the children in the agriculture school, in fact, most of the children from Monrovia, born in Monrovia, are interested in the agriculture at the University of Liberia. So these children that come from the Leeward counties, that come to the University of Liberia, give them scholarship. Those of them that want to further their education, give them scholarship, let them go. And when they come back, make it mandatory that where you have to go to your province, wherever you come from, and start to produce food, start to make farm. We'll give you the implements, we'll give you loan. Okay? Some of them, even if they don't start with tractor, but you give them, they know. I know children who can plant, these little things like coffee and things, and then they grow it, and then they sell the I don't know whether that's the seeding. I'm not an agriculture person, so I don't know. But I know that they grow it in small plastic bags, and then when they sprout, then they can sell the I don't know what's the name anyway. Okay, they can sell the young plants to people who want to make farm. So that person can live on that. I remember there was a boy from my area. I don't know he's pretty young, but I think I may know his father because he tried to introduce his father to me. And his father, I was even in elementary school years back in 1972, 73 or so, because the name is familiar. And he told me, so uncle, since I graduated from University of Liberia in agriculture, I'm not doing anything, but I can show you sample of my work. One Chinese man taught me this, and this is where I live by. And this boy, he plants, like cocoa and coffee in the small plastic stuff, and he grow big farm, okay? And then he sells it to people. But he also told me that a lot of people don't buy it because they don't have money. So, so if the government could incentivize, and then people who also want to go mechanized agriculture, provide loan for them, bring in the tractors, okay? Now listen, where I live here in Norway, this country is one of the countries on earth that got very bad weather. The winter is coming. It's going to last for 4-5 months. I mean, when I mean winter, we're talking about snow, that if your car is parking outside and you don't remove the snow for especially in December and January, if you don't remove the snow for your car 2-3 days, the whole car will be covered. So this is how much snow we have, okay? But these people, they try, and the soil here is different. The soil is full of sand. It's very porous. The soil is very porous. If you pour water, all going down, because it's like it's like you grind a rock and you put it this, So the soil is bad, but these people try their best. They use a lot of fertilizers on their farm, and what do they produce? They either produce grass for animals, or they produce somewhere some potatoes, some sunflowers, something they plant. I don't know. I still have to ask. After 20 years, I don't know what that is. But it makes yellow flower, big field. Then some places they plant strawberry. Some places they plant these small sour apples that they make with juice. Okay, that's all these people plant. But this country, the amount of food that they have. I used to work in a hotel, and I remember that we got like 3-4 containers outside. The amount of food that they throw away every day, you can feed Monrovia alone, just from that hotel. The food they throw away every day. The food is spoiled, but because the customers have eaten, they had lunch. I mean, breakfast this morning, they had lunch, they have dinner, and after every meal, like breakfast, the rest of the food they'll dump it. And I was like, tears will sit in my eye. When people that have no good soil, nothing can grow here. You got to put, I don't know what can I say the last one, just to grow. There's a shop right 2 minutes walk away from here. It's called Felle Shop, meaning it's like general or common shop, and that's mainly for farmers. You go and see new bread tractors, soil tillers, different things. Everything you think about farming is there. From gloves to anything about farming is there. And what do? These people, as long as you get farm or you intend to make farm, you come there. What you want? You want a new brand tractor that costs almost like 1 million Norwegian krona, which is about $100,000. Say, yeah, the key, start. What else want? I want the tiller behind you. Yeah. What else want? I want the big tank that can carry car people. I'm talking to you Liberians, so listen to me what I'm saying. So when I say car people, you know what I'm talking about. And yeah, they think, yeah. What else one? Oh, I want a blade. What can dig it soil? Yeah. What else one? Oh, I want the other sunny behind that can spread the fertilizer. They'll give everything from A to Z in farming. You get one cell, but as long as you get the land, they say go. So most of the young people, most of the children born around here, I sometimes joke them that no news here because it's a small community, no news. So when one young boy who are going to school, if you high school, but he may want to go further because the farmers are the richest people here. Whether the farm produces or not, they get subsidy from government. Okay, so whether they produce, if they get good yield, they still get subsidy. So they are the richest people. The car they ride, you don't play with it. They change car almost every 2 years. The farmers, trust me. So their farmer probably got 1 or 2 children. So the children go to school, their father is getting older, he will take what they find. So they don't even think about going to university. That all we the foreigner them will come and say, "One go learn mobile." And when you learn mobile, you become enemy. Because they look at you, you come from a country that here you can't learn mobile, you want to be like, oh, yeah, forget it. You catch harder to even get a job. So for them, they are balanced. So the children, when they're not thinking about going to university, because they already balanced. So if they begin, say you graduate from high school, his father start teaching him how to drive tractor. And then the first day when he buy his own cow, in the news, oh, they never bought one cow. They did a cow deliver that news. So, but this is how they live. So we never had shortage of food in this country. The rest of what we eat, besides the potatoes they grow here, which is not even sufficient. Some people get plenty in their backyard for that, to feed their family. Okay. Then the biggest farm I have seen here is the grass that they feed the animals with. Because like if you go to the west coast, they got very different kind of weather and different kind of species of grass and trees. So the weather there is different. Okay, so we that live in a mountainous area, this is where you find a lot of real farmers. So they grow this grass and they roll them up in some white plastic. So that some people own the whole business. So a lot of people coming from a far place to come buy the grass to go feed their animals. You see that? So if the government could incentivize, the government could just put into place mechanism, things that can make the people to work. And I hear and say, oh, Liberian people, listen. And this is a cliche that I hate. Because most people, when God bless them small, they live in good life, they look down on our other people, our other brothers and sisters. Oh, Liberian men, listen. Liberian men, listen. Those of us that tower and came out of Liberia will work our backside all the hell to survive. You can't sit down in a women country and say, you listen, how you eat? You get money, you get pie, you get anything. When you're hungry, who you go to? The country, nobody can credit anybody. You can't call your friends and say, but I can't credit me $10. No. So we work. And then, so since those facilities are not available, then the government should be in a position to work out other mechanisms. Since they feel that they will be backing rice importers, I don't understand. Country that got more people than us, that got bigger population than us, we importing rice from them. Can you imagine? India got billions and billions of people. China. I don't understand. So we've got problems. So for the government to promise people that, and when I listened to the guy reading this stuff today, I was like, it sounds like the government got farm somewhere where they're going to get it right from the bring it. They're going to negotiate. They're going to buy. Okay, they don't have money, and the buyers are saying that we're not bringing it. So and the government is not in the business of selling rice, and this is where the mistake comes from. In this country, I don't see where government buy anything. No, government I don't buy government cars or government don't buy, put their hand in their pocket and buy anything here for anybody. The government, we got, I don't know how is that set up in the Liberian in our government system. But here we live in something called a commune, which is like a municipality. Okay, in this municipality, the taxes, the business people, we that work, the business people, the taxes that we pay, okay, is that taxes that they use. And then they also get from the district level, they get some money. Then from the county level, they also get some money from the government as subsidy to help the people, because it's a welfare country. So the old people that can't work, our taxes go to them. Government also support them. The crippled people that we call, those kind of funny people. I mean, sorry to say that. I'm just giving an example. They are well cared for in this country, so they also need money. Okay, so the taxes we pay, government subsidize the rest. So I know here in a country when they say government going to import potato or government going to import rice. So when government start to meddle in these kind of things in Liberia, this is where the problems come from. The government should have nothing to do with business people buying their things. Okay, why you want to subsidize the business? Can you imagine how much risk you take? So the government, the businessman say, okay, today this year we buy, or this month we buy bag of rice for $10, but we want to make it $15. Then government join there and say, okay, no, you're selling $10. The other $5 that we don't want to pay. So after 4 months, the business people can say, oh, but the rest price going on. So we want to sell it $15 again, we want to sell it $20. So the government will continue to give higher bidding, we continue to bid higher. So this is selling. This is completely selling. And because they want to do it for political reason. But much said on our rights issue. My suggestion is that the government should stay away from the business people. Collect your taxes. That's it. Collect your taxes from the business people. Put your regulations into place to guide the business people. You don't be you. So, and I saw something on Facebook where the LMP arrested some rice in the container. What are you arresting the people rice for? It's not for you. It's a business thing. But again, this is Liberia, and this is what we are fighting for. That this whole ratting system, this whole stupid ratting system, that people, and what hurts me is people who, like people in this particular government who live abroad, who know all the system, they go back and they stay as stupid. They are even worse than the people. When I see one little boy who just came from University of Liberia, or who is from one little high school, or some non-entity on Facebook talking some nonsense, I don't take them for serious, because why? I mean, the guy has got nothing to compare with. What he sees around him, what he sees around him every day is what he knows. So it's like a man whose face was kept down for the rest of his life. So if he turned his car up and showing the sun in the sky, he said, no, he knows the ground. So, but people who have lived in these developed worlds, America, Europe, and when they go back, they even perform worse. They think worse than the people on the ground. That's what can hurt me. And this is why when we look at Mr. Cummings' platform, some of us, we think that it makes sense. It's not 100%, but it makes sense. If we start there, people will begin to learn. And let me tell you, change. When we talk about change, some people somewhere today, they were writing, why Mr. Cummings got people from past government in a team that he appointed today. So this is no change. No, the definition of change does not mean that it should destroy. Look, if I live in this house and I want to change this house, it doesn't mean I should break down the whole house and rebuild it. Probably I can change the ceiling, I can change the walls, the shape of the room, but the structure is still there. So if you think that when you talk about change, you're going to bring new people, you're going to create new people from somewhere and bring them and put them together, that will even be worse, because the new people that you'll go somewhere and create and bring, they will not know anything. They will not have any idea. You see? And when they talk about change, change is also behavioral. Change is not only physical and structural, it's behavioral. So you can change your behavior. Okay? I can, like those of us that travel, when we're in Liberia, We thought it was simple. I mean, you can just take, you can eat plum and throw the sea anywhere. Broad Street is dirty, and it's normal. We live there, it's normal. But go to places like Singapore where you don't spit in the street. You don't put your saliva in the street. And when they catch you, I'm not talking about you chewing chicken and throwing it down. When they catch you, my friend, you'll not believe yourself. So if you live in a country like Singapore, you're from Liberia, you have to change. So that is part of change. So you are not new human being. You are the same John Brown from Liberia who were born there, who lived there all the time, who used to feel that throwing dirt in the street was normal. But because you moved to Singapore, and the Singaporeans do not litter their street, you will change your behavior. The same thing with us. I came to Norway. I was from all the streets clean. Then every street corner got dustbin or trash can. So then, why would I want to eat my ice cream and throw it dirt down? Put it there. So I changed right there. So the people who condemn me, Mr. Cummings, for that, we'll come to that. Because today, the ANC or the CPP set up its first campaign team. So we'll come to that. But prior to that, people started writing all kinds of things on Facebook. That, Mr. Cummings post on old people, people from past government. So you expect Mr. Cummings to go and create new people. These people that Mr. Cummings put there can change behavior. Their behavior can be changed. The same way, if you are seen now before you go to church, you say, I'm changed. You then change your whole body. You change your mind, your mindset. The way you used to think is what you change. So and this is a problem. But so like I said, my only recommendation to government is that the government should do away with meddling in the business people thing. Trying to negotiate with business people how to sell that thing. Because business people, they sell to make profit. So if the business people feel that they're selling this item for $10 and you say, no, sell it for $8, and the other $2 put it, the next five months, they'll create another condition. They know that, oh yeah, especially if you're paying that money regularly. They say, oh yeah, my man, send the government people can carry up to $12, extra $2 more. And because they expect that the government will go there and say, oh yeah, when you make it $12, we'll pay. So the government has extra $4 to pay. Okay? So they will continue to increase, and several conditions will come that the government will have to abide by because they have put themselves in that position. So government stop meddling in the people's business. Let these people sell. Let they order what, because no, if the rice is available and people get money, they will buy it. And they're selling one cup for $100 or $120 some places, people stay buying it. So what was so big about that $2 that the government had to go step in when the government itself know that they cannot pay that money? So the whole problem in the country is caused by the government. And my advice is let the government, I'm not talking about this gangster group in power now. All the advice I'm giving it to the next government that is coming in 2024. You'll stay away from the business people. You'll try to create the avenue that people can make fun, that people will be encouraged. All the people roaming around Memorial Town, they call them so good. Once they see somewhere where they can get money, you can live where Bongonima, and you make your farm, you sell and get money, you'll be able to live. Like, yeah. No, you know what? I don't know. There is just something about women. If you go to Liberia, they sell salt, $10 in Memorial for bed. If you go to Grand Gile, it will be $20 or $15. Here, if you go to Oslo, the price of bread in Oslo is the same price everywhere. Down to the far north that borders Russia. Down to the far north that borders Russia. If you go there, it's the same price. And you'll find it on time. You will not say because the bread not even coming from Oslo. Because the company that makes that bread in Oslo, that company got that branch in the far north. That part of Norway, it borders Russia, it borders Finland and Sweden. So one place you can stand and put one fossil, your fossil, you in Sweden and Norway. You put the other fossil, you in Sweden and Finland. You put the other fossil in Norway. If you have 3 feet, you will put all three in 3 countries. Okay? And you will find everything there. I mean, that's far place I'm talking about. You can't drive to go there, you got to fly. Okay? As remote as it is. Everything you find it there at the same price. Okay? So that's enough. The biggest news about the CPP and politically, the biggest political news today is that the first batch of the campaign team for the CPP/ANC Liberty Party was named today. And it was an elaborate program held at the Liberty Party's headquarters or under the auspices of the CPP, that is the coalition of political parties. And that program brought together officials from both the ANC and the Liberty Party. And it was also attended by people from other parties who have joined the CPP in recent time. And most of the people out there that I remember that I have just made their way to the CPP. Louis Brown was there, the Honorable Ambassador Louis Brown. Ambassador Macintosh Gary. Also other people. Okay. So the program was well attended, the program was blessed, and it was well executed. We have a clip from that program, and I must apologize for the quality of that clip. I was actually what we call in broadcasting transcribing. I was transcribing from the original video to my phone, but because I was holding the phone, so there was some interference, like flash on the video. So I must apologize for the quality of the video, but I want you to get a message. So let's hear from Mr. Cummings, who set up that team and appointed the members today.
Of King Comics 2023. As the days and weeks unfold, more and more Liberians will join this effort to ensure that we change the course and direction of Liberia, to ensure that we restore and bring back good governance and economic opportunity for the people of our country. So here are the initial list of names. Dr. Toga Iwunye Nakita. Ambassador Louis G. Brown. Mr. George Judy Wisner. Honorable H. Dan Moriah. Honorable and Senator Honorable Jonathan, can I see Adibocha there? Madam Julia Duncan Castell. Madam Mariama Sakari. Mr. Daniel Chair. Mr. Roland Sadiq Kamara. Attorney Lafayette Wu. Honorable Larry Youngway. Mr. Emmanuel Yato. Councilor Aloysius To. Mr. Martin C. Kula. Madam Nike Ja. Mr. William Moy. Makula Morris. Fry, Reverend David Benito, Mr. Peter Noah, Mr. Chino Jalo, Mr. David Bajibo, Madam Queen Thomas Saturday, Elder Rufus Sadie, Miss Robel Winter, Elder Jala, Madam Kamina Abdallah, Ma Musu Sano, Mr. Chris Dawson, Reverend Josiah Kennedy, Mr. Rodney Wilson, Madam Wade Powell, Mr. Momo Samola, Attorney Lawrence Swat, Mr. Onesimus James, Madam Louise Duato, Mr. Mandela Gible, Madam Omo Ebanks, Madam Vivian Sendolo Norman, Madam Kevin Collins, Mr. Samuel Dean, Mr. Victor Singh, Mr. Jethro S.K. Harris. Again, let me emphasize those names were not in any particular order. Let me also emphasize that more and more Liberians will join this effort so that we can work together, make the sacrifices required to change our country. I keep reminding Liberians that our country will not change because we're talking. Our country will not change because the leadership will change. Our country will change because we do the work and we make the sacrifice. And so I'm confident that this team and others that will join us, that together we will make President Weah a one-term president and restore our country. Now, the most important team member, and no apologies for calling this out, but the most important team member is my wife.
Okay, so you you heard the listing or the composition of the team, the initial team. Like you heard Mr. Cummings say, more and more or many more Liberians will join. But this is just the initial composition of the team, the tag team Cummings. So from our personal opinion, which is not the fact, I know some members of this team personally. I've had interaction with them. For example, Louis Brown, who have served in several governments, from Taylor to Elling, and partly in Georgia. With no doubt, I can defend Louis Brown in most cases. Not in all cases, but in most cases. Things I know little about Louis Brown is that he's smart. He's very, very consistent, he's courageous, he's a strong-willed man. I didn't know Louis Brown passively, like, somebody will point and say, oh, this is the man called Louis Brown. No. I have very, very close interactions with Louis Brown on many occasions. And some of which I would not say, because we jokingly, we used to, when Louis Brown was building his house, we used to go there, we play pool, we play card, and I was I think the youngest in our group, because they were all big boys, and I was the youngest in our group, and because of my boss man would go there, and I was like the staunch man. Every small say, my man, you shut up, man. What are you talking? But the point I'm trying to make is that I know these people. I know Louis Brown very well. He's a strong-willed man, very courageous, very, very determined. I mean, he said, "I'll do this. I'll do it." So I have no doubt that this team, with the likes of Mr. Brown, I think it's a good team. And like Mr. Comey said, many more people to be added, and who knows? We might just see some of the most strongest and powerful political figures coming. And Liberia is a country where people will probably undermine the efforts of good people. And at the end of the day, they will say, oh, if we are known. And so Liberians, I just want to sound this as a warning, general warning to all of us Liberians, that, let's sit and reflect. Let's go by a few years back, 10, 20, 30 years back, those of you who are much older, and see where we came from and where we are now and where we want to be. Do you still want to live in the 80s, the 90s? I would say no. And then how do we transition to the next stage or our next dream, how we want to live? It's through changing our mindset, our way of doing things, and focusing on the right thing. I mean, let me say it this way. Besides people who are mentally challenged, when we call crazy people in Liberia, I don't think there are real stupid people in Liberia. But our politicians try to make you look stupid. They provide the stage, or they create the stage to make you look stupid, so they can use you and make you look stupid. And then if you buy it, then they say, oh yes. I was talking to, when I was in Liberia, working as a journalist, I had good friends. All of my friends were ministers and big guys, besides my ordinary friends. I had two types of friends. I had my ordinary friends, then I had those friends up there. When I get stuck, they can remove me very fast. They can make things happen. They can give me money. Let me just put it that way. When I'm broke, I take a phone call, say my man, but drop over. Then I had the other friends that we can sit down and do our little small thing together. And so I talked to somebody, a politician. That person is in the house now, from way back, one of the old boys. And the guy told me, he said, politics. He said, politics is you read the people mind and you go inside and maneuver their brain, play with their brain. If they are very susceptible, then you will be able to control them. And that's what our politicians in Liberia do to you. And they've been doing that for years, so they know the in and out. So if you hear all the stupid noise about politicians having experience, that John Brown get experience, Mary Point get experience, so they can be president, because it's all about how they have trained you. They have made you to think to begin to think and abide by what they say, how they control you, how they program you. And then you buy into it, then they say, yes, this is what we want. And so if you see somebody trying to come with new, fresh idea that will sensitize you and get away from the old ways, they say, what do I want to do? And that's the only thing Elisanon has on his head in Liberia, politically. Why the men want to change everything? So, and who told you that the old way of doing things, where all the guys who were in, let me just start from recent time, who were in Ellen government, who did not get rich, but they know all the small loopholes. And then the other guys in Georgia government, who know the small loopholes where the money can come from, but they do not have that chance to take it. Who told you they don't want to get rich? They want to get rich. So they're waiting for the next government to come, so they can jump in and say, this is our time. At least we know where we can get it from. Then you get one guy who comes from way in a corporate world. He can't bring a corporate mentality. He said, gentlemen, they think got to be straight. We got to make it straight. Because you know what? You know one thing about the corporate world or the business world. Let me break it down for those of you. The business runs to make profit, so they don't play around. You don't play with time. If you work in the corporate world, you don't play with time. You don't play with our money. You don't play with the human resources. All the resources, you don't play with it. Especially time and money, because that's what the business is based on, to make money. So then you get one guy who was there all the years, that only joy he know. He has been controlling billions of dollars. One cent can get missing because nobody taking it illegally. Then he come to Liberia where people fighting hard to graduate from college to go work in government and get rich overnight. Then they make and say, oh no, we can't do it this way. Let's change it. So all the people trouble, they say, no, wait. Why this time when it's our time? Then the other men coming with they kind of idea. That listen, come out. It's hard to say, but our brothers and sisters in Liberia, you gotta open your ears, gotta open your mouth. And I will always give you a sample about where I live. Where I live, people don't play magic. And when I hear, black people say, oh, the women get same money than black men, who told you that? White men is the most stupid man. I will tell you, I live with white people. White men not sense more money than black men. Black men we get too much sense. Imagine someone, we didn't go to college, but we're sensible. We can do the thing what women can do. People, they got everything to their disposal. But some of them, they zero compared to the black men. That's why they jealous you. So if you bear that mentality in your brain that all the women, no, but because the women follow system, the women put system into place, the women will play. When the women say that in the net to my place, right? It's after 9 o'clock. The women are planning for 10 o'clock tonight, for 11. The women planning for 24 hours, 2 years from now. That's what the women is doing. What can he do? But the black men, especially Liberian people, get laid for now. For right now, that just right now is what we're concerned about. We don't think, we don't plan. So this is the difference between we and them. So if you want to introduce the idea of the white man in a country like Liberia, where you say, no, this thing belong to you, do not take it. Even if you work in government, this is a government car, you got to take care of it. I work in the government here. Then I've also worked in private company. In a private company, my workplace, I used to have a car, the company car is assigned to me. I go put gas, I got to record the mileage, I put the gas. Then by the time, in fact, I'm not recording on paper, so I'm not going to lie that the car was so mileage. No, it's a small computer gadget that we got. So I just punching the number. I wish I'm filling the gas. So it registered right away to the office. So there's the big guy sitting in the office that know exactly. I wish mileage I put this so amount of gas in the car. And where am I going to drive? Because they know where I'm supposed to go next. So they know. So at the end of the day, when I park a car, I got to record the mileage again. I wish the car is when I park it. So when I punch it in, it registers. So my boss will know exactly how long I drove. But like the government car, the man take care of it to look what for. He go do a own thing. When the car break down, so we don't respect anything. This is our problem. Then we say, why men get some money? Oh, who told you that? Why men not get some money? You. But when men respect rules, even though some of them are not, but when women want to be good, it can be good. It want to be bad, it can be bad. That one I must admit. When men want to be stupid, it can be totally stupid. And when men want to be smart, it can be completely smart. But we black people, we know what we are. 1 minute we're stupid, 1 minute we're smart, 1 minute we're crazy, 1 minute we get sense. I told you earlier on that we'll make a program conversational tonight. So I'm talking to us, to we, black people, especially Liberians. So, like I was saying, the composition of this new team, or the initial team, is not new. There was no old one before. The composition of this team, there are people inside that I trust, like Macintosh Gateway. I mean, besides their political influence, because Louis Brown is not a little potato in Buchanan. I know Louis Brown, how influential he is. Mr. Gateway, Macintosh. I recall that name from a long time ago. He and Tom Woyu always had some little problems. Okay, so Tom Woyu always will mention his name when we interview him. Then the likes of Wisner, and there are some powerful ladies also named on that committee. So you can see the difference, and besides the male, besides the gender composition, the geopolitical composition also tells that this team is strong. Because I listened carefully, I listened to some of the names. There were people from Nima County, let's put Larry Young, the Honorable Larry Yonkwe, Martin Sekola. Then if you go to Grand Cayman County, you got Sambola. The political diversity of that composition, that's a plus. And then you go to Grand Basso County, you got two prominent people from Grand Basso. You got Louis Brown, you got Macintosh Gateway. Then if you go to Lufa, I heard one Elder Jala. Okay. Then I think some city, and he must be from the southeast. Okay. So the geographical composition, then the gender balance. I mean, everything is just in place. And Mr. Cummings clearly saying that, we need more Liberians, or many more people will be coming. So this is, who knows, tomorrow he might hear my name. And I'm just joking. I'm not sure how effective I will be in a campaign. I mean, like I said, tomorrow he might just hear my name. And I got a constituency. I got people that I can control. I mean, people that, that will listen to me. If I go to my mother's home in Bonk County, between Bonk and Grand Basso, if I go to my mother's home and talk, people will say, oh, that was nephew talking. If I go to my town and talk, people will say, yes, that was son talking. So, that thing is a powerful thing for now. And we're waiting in the future to hear more names added. But let's look at some of the comments here, because you, our viewers, are very important. I know we got some people who will tell some funny things. And there is our regular listener or viewer, Chadela Brown Children. She say hi, we welcome you. And then she also say, how can our staple food, which is rice, be imported? It should be homegrown to ensure supply and sustainability. The more we think about it, it doesn't make sense. 100% agree with you, Madam Chilupri. I mean, let me tell you, if we were importing potato, okay, let me tell you something. The Vikings, the Norwegians, these people, they don't eat rice. At least it's not something that they know about, except for a few of them who have gone to Africa, some of them who have gone to Asia and married the Asian women, and some of them marry African women. They eat rice and they love it. Every time we have our Liberian program here, we got some friends, Norwegian friends, we invite them, they come and eat. When they eat the pepper, they like it. They ask for cassava all the time. That's one of the female thing they know. Okay, they like it. But it's not their traditional food. Their traditional food are in a potato. So they plant it here. They do nobody, no Norwegian. They do, I told you, they plant their potatoes in their backyard or they get a farm. They do import it. Because the reason is they don't want to depend on somebody else for what is supposed to be their stable food. They think that's simple sense. But people, you don't need any rocket scientist to come and tell you this thing to explain it. So, Liberians, what's the problem with us? Our government officials, what's the problem? Why aren't we thinking? Yeah? Okay, let's say I'm gonna get the jacket that I can wear all the time. And I know I can sew the jacket. So why would I wait to go get it from way Jamaica when it will take a long time before it comes? And I know I can sew it. And that only jacket I like, what I want supposed to wear. So these people in this country, they plant potato because they know this is their stable food. They don't play with it. Other food, all the other things we can import it. Banana, plum, you name it, we can import it. But potato and fish, fish, here, you don't play with it because they're stable food. And meat, okay, because they eat that potato with the meat, they're stable food. They don't import it. But Sister Shadra Brown really makes sense here. Rice is our stable food. Why should we be importing it? Depend on other people to supply for us. When we know we're able to do, I don't understand. When I was a child, growing up, grew up with grandparents from the very early age. My grandfather saw a big rice farm. And they will harvest that rice and put it in the kitchen tap. We'll be eating it until the next harvest time. So then it means that we didn't depend on anybody. They didn't go in the store to go buy rice. No. So if rice is our stable food, then why do we depend on other people to produce it for us? What if those people say, no, we're not producing it anymore? What happens to us? Common sense, Liberians. Common sense, government officials prioritize agriculture. I'll finish with our rice issue, but I'm just reading the comments and this one caught my eyes. Then Mieta Dakira said, good morning, Afro Viking. Yeah, good evening. It's actually 9:15 here in the night. I know where she's coming from because she's in the US, so it's in the morning to her. And then, but there is somebody here who tends to be a little bit cheeky and cocky. One nice say Geraldine. She's telling me that I don't know much about Liberia, so I should start talking nonsense. I don't know how professional is she, or what is the degree that she got on Liberia that I don't have. What you know about Liberia that I don't know. And you must be somebody, you know, if I look at you, just from your utterance, you must be somebody in the lowest echelon of the human kingdom. I hate to sometimes get to people, but when you try to get to me in a sense that is very annoying, then I get to you. You must be somebody that belongs to the lowest echelon of the human species. That you will come and tell me that I'm a Liberian. I was born in Liberia. I grew up in Liberia. So what do you think you know about Liberia more than me? And let me just tell you, I'm a journalist. I work in Liberia as a journalist for many years. So what I know, you don't know it. You don't even know an inch of what I know about Liberia. So you probably learn from my notebook. You probably learn from my notebook. I know you must be much younger, okay? That you will look at me and tell me that I don't know much about Liberia. She start talking nonsense. What do you know about Liberia? Or what have I said here that sounds more American, or that sounds more Asian, or that sounds more Russian, that doesn't apply to Liberia? What? But some of you when you come on public space, you try to gain attention, but the wrong way. And you being a lady, I would have expected that you would just comport yourself. I will not even dive your level. But one thing I can tell you, that you are at the lowest echelon of the human species. So if you know what I mean, you don't need to even comment anymore. And I'm sorry that I would say that, but when a fact is a fact, there's no way you can dodge it. That's a fact. You don't know me. You don't know me. How do you tell me that I don't know about Liberia? What education you have on Liberia that I don't have? What you know about Liberia that I don't know? I worked as a journalist in Liberia actively. Okay? And I'm not telling you war days. I'm talking about pre-war days. So I travel around Liberia that I know almost all countries. It's one country that I don't know Liberia. In Liberia, it's Grand Chile country. And the other new country they created called Bapolo. Okay? So where you come from, you gotta be careful. And sometimes, of course, people that you don't get under my skin, don't think you've made any because if you get under my skin, and if I come back, you'll go home. You will actually leave this platform because you don't belong there. But I will not get back to you. It's just a little response to you, that you belong to the lowest echelon of you belong way down there at the bottom of the ladder when it comes to the human species. So you don't even go there. No, let me tell you, we Liberians, one of the things you should do is, if you go to, like, you see me, I'm very active on Facebook. I write a lot of things every day, and I got my group. Okay, right. But I don't just go on somebody live or on somebody post and write. I would listen and hear what the person is saying. And if I have to make comments, I can defend it. That you will come here and tell me that I should shut up because I don't know anything about Liberia. I don't know what I say here that sounds, or that comes from Pluto, that doesn't sound Liberian. I'm speaking Liberian English. So what I don't know about Liberia? Well, anyway, I think you were served. I mean, I just gave you a breakfast. I didn't serve you lunch or dinner. So you can have a nice day, and learn next time when you come under this live. I don't get to people. I mean, people who've been following me all the time, they know I don't get to people. I don't get to people. I don't get to people. But if you come here and certain times, there's just certain things you will say that will not go down well with me. Okay, because you have people of your caliber who will think your way, and they will buy your thoughts. That you will look at me and tell me I don't know about Liberia. What can you teach me about Liberia? I'm older than you, probably. Or whether you're older than me, what do you know about Liberia that you can't propound here, but you will rather tell me that I should shut up and I don't know about Liberia. But again, they say we shall know them by their fruits. And so that was the composition of the team coming today. And like I said, I have no doubt, based on my experience with some of the members of that team. And like Mr. Cummings said, the team is just the initial one. There will be a lot of people coming in. And we hope that people can come and begin to work, because all this thing we're talking is about Liberia. Like my good friend Nancy said, I don't know about Liberia, at least. So, but she who lives in Liberia, she who got a whole archive of Liberia in her hand. If Liberia becomes better, I didn't want to enjoy. I don't need anything in Liberia for now. Probably, you know where you were born, but you don't know where you will die. So if some all die, some all will get old, we say we want to go back. Yeah, we'll go to Liberia. And if we go to Liberia, we want to see a better Liberia. That's what we're fighting for. I don't need anything like you Nancy Jordan. I don't need anything like you in Liberia, no. I got my brothers and sisters out there. They all doing fine. Everything is okay with them. And by the grace of God, I can buy rest back up here. By the grace of God, I can drink water. Our water here, we need espresso. It's very cool. The icy water is cool. So at least, by the grace of God, I can sleep hungry. By the grace of God, if I'm hungry, I get money. The state will come to my aid. But now you talking probably you've been looking for a better rest today, or you living with your people, in your mind bad, you not eat. You either go stand to somebody will not do to eat. That's why we try to avoid. I come from Liberia, I know that children will stand to other people do when they eating. Okay? And yes, there's just a lot of things wrong with Liberia. And when I was growing up, I remember our first television set, a little black and white TV, was bought in 1978. But prior to that, we used to go stand to other people no window. When the TV coming on, when they get ready, they draw the curtain in front of us. Yeah, they did a feel sorry for us. We go inside. After the TV, when the TV started at 12 o'clock those days, they will give us the floor red. We'll clean the raw. We'll clean the whole floor before we come outside. Just because we went to the house to watch TV. and here, my children do need to. I'm not boasting. I'm just talking the reality. The reason why we're fighting for Liberia. So people like you, Nancy, will come here and talk some funny things. Okay? You think I'm talking for myself? Do I look like somebody who want to go to Liberia, go buy rest my cup? No. I don't need to. God bless me that I came to a place where things are okay. I'm not responsible for things being okay here, but I can't admit it. And I enter the system. So that's the kind of system I want for our country. No mother should go and buy a cup of rice in the market in the wheelbarrow and bring it home to cook. No. Yeah? I take my kids to the supermarket, they will move around. Whatever they want. They put in a wagon. We go, we pay. That's the kind of thing we want for Liberia. That people like you will come here and tell me that I don't know about Liberia. I know more about Liberia more than you. And Liberian people we have our own problem. You talking for that? The same people you're talking for that the same people will be killing you or beating you, causing you. Let me tell you, if there will be any change in Liberia, it's the diaspora Liberians. And you know why? Why it will be us? It's because we have seen the difference. We have seen the other side of things. And so we want to introduce that system. But now you who live there because Joey used to play football. So Joey has to be president. The president is getting rich, why he getting poor and dying? You Nancy, you woman, maybe you will get pregnant and you want to deliver, you go to JFK, they say no medicine there. What happens to you? But as long as Joey is president because he play football, you get elected, so it's good for you, Nancy. Yeah, I will deal with you so that when you move from the show, when you go to other place, you're not on nonsense. And you just biology tonight to be frank. You ready biology. All the people who follow me on the show, they know I don't do this. They know I don't do this. And I hate to do it. But you cannot biology tonight. And the biology child, when you see them, you know them. You're one of them. You woman, you get pregnant like no. When they came to JFK, they will refuse to no medicine there. Okay? You go to other clinic, private clinic, say you will pay money, and you get it. You nice, you get it. We're talking for you. The change we want is because we are seeing here, we are seeing in other countries. I live here, travel almost all European countries, go to Asia. In fact, as a matter of fact, my wife is from Asia. So what I know, you don't know it. Okay, I don't know about Liberia, right? But what I know, you don't know it. Then we're talking for our people. And you come from nowhere, then you can't enter nonsense. Like I said, you get biology tonight, and say the biology catch you, it will follow you until I leave this show here. I got a few more minutes to be here, but the biology that you know for, it will follow you. Let me tell you, I had to do this. I'm sorry. I'm boring down my audience. I'm very sorry that I will do this, but I will do it for one reason, so that she will learn lesson. We're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for other people who cannot afford. I got my brothers and sisters in Liberia. Okay? As you and I speak now, my mom is on sick bed. She just suffered from a stroke. We have carried her everywhere. And stroke here is nothing. People can work on it and the person will recover. Not 100%, but at least will be able to move around, talk, and do everything. But the system is not in Liberia. And we're talking about making the country place where people can live. We're making the country, we're trying to make the country livable. And some of you will just kind of talk the chicken without head. Okay? Probably somebody help you with data. You come here, you talk nonsense. When your data finish, she's not appearing again because the data finish. She's gone. So it's just a waste of breath on her. Okay? Probably she'll go ask for another data. And that data, you're not getting free. Like I said, you just buy luggage to never go. But so it was a good evening talking to you guys. We hope we'll be here on Saturday. All of my co-hosts were out today. They've been busy, but we'll be here on Saturday. But if anything pops up of interest, we can still come on the show. We'll do an emergency show. The reason why we come on 2 times a week is because we are busy and we need to catch up with other schedules. But it's always good to see you. And lastly, I hope you'll be back here next weekend. And when you come, please behave. When you come on the platform, please behave. Because here we behave. And to be frank, today is the day that I went above line. And everybody knows that. I mean, people will bear me witness. Today is a day that I went across the small line. You know, in life, there is something about sanity and insanity. 1 minute you are on the borderline. You know, between sanity and insanity, there's a clear line drawn there. So, but we all tread along this line. 1 minute you cross. When the going gets tough, you cross from sanity to insanity. Then when you catch yourself, you say, no, I to the wrong side, then you get back again. So probably you're on the wrong, your foot touched the wrong place today. So I say you made me to put my foot on the wrong place, but that's not me. So we hope you come back again, and when you come back, behave. Then we'll all behave. So I want to say thank you very much for watching. Before we leave, we want to leave with some of what Mr. Cummings have been talking, and what are some of his plans, what he wants to introduce in Liberia, and how he wants Liberia to be. Because let me tell you, this is not fun. To have a country where your stable food can be short, you know what happens to you? You will die. Because, I mean, what will you eat? How possible is it that the thing you're depending on to live, it goes short in your life? So that's a serious thing. So let's just listen to Mr. Cummings, and this is how I'd like to take you home.
My name is Alexander Cummings, and I want to work with honest men and women to change Liberia for the better. I want to open the doors of governance to all capable persons. I want to use the collective brain power of all of our men and women. I want to build a nation of self-sufficiency. I want to build an environment that thrives on and promotes a vibrant Liberian private sector. I want to ensure that we are a nation where education is key in all of our national development priorities. I want to create and nurture a development agenda that ensures our young people have jobs when they graduate from school. I want to create an environment where our women have access to equal opportunities in every aspect of our society. I want to promote a system that uses our country's natural resources for the benefit of all. I want to see our country flourish beyond our wildest imagination. We are capable of doing it if we work together. We may not all agree all of the time, but we can set aside our differences and work towards charting a new course without the infighting, backbiting, and backstabbing. Whether you're a member of the ANC, ALP, LP, or UP, We must channel our support for individual candidates into championing our collective objective, defeating the Weah administration in the 2023 presidential and legislative elections, and ushering in a governance more prepared, more capable, more experienced, more skilled, and more honest men and women. With your help, we can move Liberia to being a better country. I thank you. God bless you and God bless Liberia.